Listen to another parable. There was a landowner who planted a vineyard, that's Israel, and put a wall around it, and dug a wine press in it, and built a tower, and rented it out to vine growers, right? These are the leaders of Israel. And then he went on a journey. Watch this. And when the harvest time... Now, first of all, let me say this. He planted a vineyard. Why? Because he wants fruit, right? He wants people for himself. That's the fruit. It's the gathering in of the what? The harvest. The harvest is people. It's believers. It's covenant people. So he builds a vineyard and he sends people to work in the vineyard and gather fruit into the vineyard. And when the harvest time approached, he sent the slaves to the vine growers to receive his produce. What is his produce? Believers. People of God. God's inheritance. Covenant people. Verse 35. The vine growers took his slaves and beat one and killed another and stoned the third. That's what Jesus says that the apostate Jews and Israelites always did to the prophets when God sent them to them. They never listened to them. They beat them. They killed them. And they did it in the New Testament too. So instead of producing fruit, you're killing people. But afterwards, he sent his son to them. So all the prophets came, and now Jesus himself comes. He says, they'll respect my son. But when the vine growers saw the son, they said among themselves, this is the heir. Come, let us kill him and seize his inheritance. They took him and threw him out into the vineyard and killed him. Therefore, when the owner of the vineyard comes, that's the coming kingdom. That's Revelation 21. And Revelation 20, right? That's when he comes and he destroys them. Listen. Therefore, when the owner of the vineyard comes, that's Revelation 20. What will he do to those vine growers? They said to him, he will bring those wretches to a wretched end. That's the end of Revelation 20. The end of the old kingdom. That's why he says this kingdom will be taken away from you. Watch this. This vineyard will be taken away from you. And somebody else will come and produce fruit of it. Produce believers. Produce covenant people from God. A kingdom that will never end. Constantly growing. Daniel talked about that. And it's talked about all throughout Isaiah 66, 65. I mean, we could name countless passages, right? So how are they producing fruit if they're locked away in heaven somewhere and the gate is shut and the door is shut on them? How are they producing fruit in the vineyard if the vineyard is over, completed? He says this kingdom will be taken away from you. That's Revelation 20. And given to a people who will produce the fruit of it. That's Revelation 21 and 22. It's simple. But they'll watch this video and they'll say it's garbage. But they won't show you how it's garbage. They'll just regurgitate the same things that you'll see in the video below. They can't bring themselves to say, whoa, whoa, whoa. That does make a lot of sense, Frank. This same guy says that many of the preterist teachers won't come over to his perspective because they don't want to lose their money. They don't want to lose their ministries. They don't want to stop selling their books. That they're all hypocrites and liars and dishonest. These are his words. They're dishonest shysters who are rooking people out of a buck. They really know that his view is true, that I.O. is the truth. But they don't want to say it because they'll lose money. Okay. But they would never admit, they would never see this and go, wow, that makes a lot of sense. Maybe we are wrong. They said to him, he will bring those wretches to a wretched end. And he did. And then, watch this. Then, Revelation 21, he will rent out the vineyard to other vine growers who will pay him the proceeds in the proper seasons. Does that sound like the end of something to you? How are they paying God the produce, bringing others into the harvest, into the vineyard, producing wine, grapes and wine? How are they doing that if they're shut away somewhere forever? It's ridiculous. Worthy of ridicule. That's what the word means. It's ridiculous. Yet they say that our perspective is worthy of ridicule. Let the listener decide. Let the listener decide. A couple more things here. Before I say that, let me say it one more time. I need to just punctuate this. I really do. Are they making disciples, producing fruit of the kingdom? Are they making wine from grapes while they're shut away? While the new kingdom ended? They say the old kingdom ended at the same time the new kingdom ended. These guys harp on Matthew 24:15 or 14 over and over again. This gospel will be preached in all the world and then the end will come, they say. What don't you get? They say. So what they're saying is this gospel of the coming kingdom that hadn't come yet, that hadn't come till AD 70, would be preached in all the world, and then the end of that same kingdom would come. Yet the end of the old kingdom came. So what they're really saying is two kingdoms ended there. But they never say it like that, but that's what they're teaching. Two kingdoms ended. The old covenant kingdom, right, ended